This section will help the user to fill in the appropriate information needed to calculate child support for the final documents in preparation for filing with the court. You should have already filled out the prior dialog boxes, identifying the parties, calculating the petitioner's gross income, the respondent's gross income. You should have chosen as well custody information. It's important that you write these items down. Write down what was the custody arrangement that you are asking for in your divorce. If you're asking for the sole legal and sole physical custody, write that down. If you're asking for the joint legal and sole joint physical custody of the children, write that down. If you're asking for the split custody of the children, which would only be applicable if you have two or more children and you've decided it's in the best interest that some children live with the respondent and some live with the petitioner, you would select that option. Write down which custody arrangement you have selected. You will need that as we calculate the child support amount in this dialog here. If you're on this screen and you've written down the petitioner's gross monthly income, the respondent's gross monthly income, and the custody arrangement that you desire, please go ahead and click here to calculate and figure the amount of child support. You will be taken to the Utah Department of Human Services Child Support Calculator. In this dialog, it will ask you the name of the parties. We've chosen Mary and Bill. You will want to write down the mother's gross monthly income and input it here. In our example, let's say mom makes $3,600 a month. You will also take the father's gross monthly income that you've written down. And let's, in our example, say he makes $4,000 a month. Input the number of children. In our example, we'll use 2. And answer any of the other following dialogues, which will be based on the custody that you've asked. If you've asked for the sole physical custody, no further screens on this screen will need to be filled out, except for whether it's the mother or the father who's the one who is filing for the divorce. If you've selected previously that you want split physical custody of the children, you'll need to fill out this dialog section. If you're asking for the joint physical custody of the children, you'll need to fill out this section by indicating how many overnights a year will be spent with mom, how many will be spent with dad. Hit continue after you've filled out the appropriate dialog boxes here. It will automatically calculate the base child support award that you will need to input into our online interview system. Please print and save this document. You will need a copy of this document to be put in with your divorce papers. Write down the base child support amount indicated. In this example, mother has been calculated with a base child support award amount of $677 and the father of $752 a month. Write these numbers down, return to the online interview system, and follow the instructions. In our example, it asks which physical custody arrangement did you select. We selected the sole custody of the children, sole physical custody. It asks to enter the base child support award. Mom, in our example, if she were the petitioner, was stated to be $677 a month. Dad, if he's the respondent, was stated at $752 a month for child support. It is important to remember that petitioner could be either the mother or the father, depending on who is initiating the divorce. Make sure you write down the appropriate amounts of child support as indicated in this document. Keep this document handy, and it may be helpful to indicate whether it's the mother or the father is the petitioner and which as the other party is the respondent. Don't confuse these two, as it's important to write down the appropriate amounts in this section. Once you finish this section, go ahead and hit continue or next.